Hi folks, welcome back to Fishing with Den. Well, the floods have started to subside and this is my first day out and about fishing, and I have to admit that this pond I'm fishing is the only place I can fish at the moment because the waters are still over the banks in all the other places I fish, and the rivers of course are completely still in flood. Even this place where the water is just down here, it's probably about a foot below me, I suppose. Normally that would be about 4 feet below me, so this pond is up about 3 feet as well. And you've actually seen me fishing here before. It's I did a slider one on it. It's sort of reasonably deep at the sides, probably in the 8-foot region, goes down to about 14 feet in the middle, and then again that sort of 8 foot at the side there. As I say, it's the only place I can fish. The watercolour is absolutely horrible still because again this got flooded, and if you can see behind me here you can probably see the base of that tree which has been pushed over. There's another bunch of them along the bank here as well behind the camera, so I don't know what to expect. But the reason I'm here is first of all to get out of the house, and secondly to test this. This is my first version of what I'm calling a distance feeder, probably also known as a rocket or whatever, but there's all sorts of different names. But this is my 3D printed version of it, and I'm trying this out because in the next week or so I may well be fishing a big match. Well, a big festival actually. It's a 2-day festival with a third day tacked on at the start as like a practice day, similar to when we did the World Championship rules one. And I've never tried this before, and I've also never tried braid properly before. I did give it one go once and I hated it because it's got no stretch, as you probably know, and when I caught a fish you could feel every slight movement on the rod tip and on the reel, and I really didn't like it. But I'm probably going to have to, if I fish that much, fish anything up to 65-70 metres. I'm not going to have to go tremendous distances out to sort of 100 metres, that's not required. But what I've done is I've put an 0.28mm Guru line on here, which is just monofilament. Got about 8 meters of that, so there's 3 or 4 turns on the spool, and then I've got some 0.10 matrix braid. As I say, never tried this properly before. The good news is in a way that it's winter, because I am going to clip up, and because it's winter I'm not expecting the fish to go tearing off like they were, but I just want to sort of do the best I can to keep the bait in the same place. I can't use that rubber band method that I normally use to mark the line, purely and simply because it does impede the cast a little bit. So here's the feeder. I will actually do probably another video on this at some point, but all I've done is I've got a 47 gram ball sinker, also known as a drilled bullet in the UK, in the bottom. That's glued in. I've got the bait going in here and I've left myself room in the bottom here to be able to tamp ground bait in and make sure it stays in. I did make a version previously with only a small hole, and I found when I pushed the ground bait in here, tried to get my finger in, it didn't really do it right, so I've given myself a bit more of a hole. I have no idea if this is going to work. I have no idea how well the braid's going to work, and I don't even know if I'm going to crack off with the monofilament. And I also don't know how far I can cast. So what I'm going to do first of all, and I haven't tried this yet, is I'm going to put this into the ground bait. I'm not going to put any major amounts of feed in it because this is just a sort of a tryout. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just trying to get bait into the thing like that, and so that the bait stays in this top portion. Not going to be a huge amount of bait, but we're going to give this a go, and I'm not going to give it too much of a chuck to start with because I really don't know what to expect. I have damped down the line on the reel because apparently you're supposed to do it with braid, and let's now chuck it out and see what happens. Want to cast straight? Okay, I'm going to let that hit the bottom. Right, that took 4 seconds. It may not be all that deep up there after all. I know it's deep down here, but maybe further up it shallows up, because this place literally, when the river floods, it comes down here and scours out the bottom and creates all sorts of issues. So basically I'm now going to count the amount of turns that this is. This reel, this is the Matrix 5000, Horizon 5000, and it takes in about 96 centimeters of line, so almost a meter for every turn. So 1, 2, 43, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. So 54 turns then, and that's not far enough. I need it to go at least another 10 turns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it again. I don't know why I've got bait on at the moment, but I have. We'll put some feed in it. I'll tell you a little bit more about the rig later if this all works, because it's all experimental today. Right, let's give myself a little bit of slack. Okay, push it in. Use my finger at the bottom to tamp it. Make sure I've got a nice solid amount. And this time we'll give it a bit more of a heave-ho. Wow. Well, that went a fair way. Hang on, let me just count. 4, 5. Oh no, that already hit the bottom. So it's actually quite shallow up there. Right, so let's do the turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Well, so got a bit of a tangle around the rig there, but I'm also experimenting with that. But I think with bait on, that'll probably be okay. So I'm actually going to leave the anti-reverse on there so that I don't get any sort of problems with bird's nests, because apparently this stuff can kind of catch up on you, and you get wind knots and all sorts. But look, I've got to 65 turns. I'm going to give it another couple of casts out to, I'm going to actually pick a spot now, cast out to that 65 turns, but before I do that I will put the line clip on. Oh, using that camera down there, and that's decided to turn off. But anyway, look, let's just see how we go with it, and I'll probably get back to you if and when I get any bites. But I'm just going to put a couple of feederfuls out for now. I've got a couple of feederfuls in, and this time we're going to actually be going for it. I'm quite pleased that I've got out to about, what, 65 meters or so, which is plenty for what I need. The other thing to bear in mind is that I was doing that with a headwind. The wind today is gusting up to about 30 kilometers an hour, which is, I don't know, call that 20 miles an hour. So that's not bad. But I'm going to bring the distance down just a little bit. I'm going to fish about 60 just to be comfortable, seeing as this is the first time. I'm just going to get this out there. Okay, looks good. It's only taking a count of 4 to get down there, and I'm not sure how quickly this one drops. Although that took about 5, so I'm a bit probably more towards the middle. We'll sink the line and we'll see what happens. As I say, because it's really cold, I'm not expecting tearaway bites, so remains to be seen if I'll even get a bite at the moment, but so far so good. So there's me been fishing at 60 meters out there, and I've just been chucking a few bits of corn and pellets literally under my feet. It's probably, I don't know, I think anything up to 2 or 3 feet deep, but there's a carp just rolled there. I haven't got any means of sort of doing anything specific, but what I'm going to try and do is put this method feeder in down there just for a laugh, just to see what happens. Not quite sure how I'm going to achieve it, but I've got to have a laugh at you. See if we can just get it to where it needs to be, which is there. And of course we're stuck around a stick. Let's see if anything happens. Crazy, Den, crazy. Oh, just had my first line bite of the day. Another touch out there at 60 meters. I'd like to get at least one fish today. Interesting to see what happens if it does go around, or under in this case, like that. Crazy. I really wasn't sure about that. I just thought I'd throw a few bits of corn down there just to see. Amazing. I've thrown a few just down there as well, but I think what I might do now is throw a few a bit further over, just over there. If nothing else, it'll be a fish that I haven't seen for a while. Last couple of weeks have been pretty horrible with the floods. I think I've had me bait. Oh, there was one on. so much for that. Literally, that did not move the tip hardly. Wow. I don't know if I'm going to put this on a video, guys, because that's embarrassing. Still, it's a fish. It's actually not a bad fish too. Probably going to spook the hell out of everything else, but hey, I've caught something. Well, providing I get it in anyway. Look, get out of there. You'll notice I'm fishing with an elasticated feeder, and it's got green elastic in it. I'm not sure exactly what come on. I'm not sure exactly what elastic it is. It's Preston, and it's number 13, I think, and the stem is out of a Guru method feeder. It's one of the long ones, and it's on one of my homemade ones that I've just literally made. I can't see me getting a bite after this, but it's amazing how much fight they got in it, considering. I think I'd have to fish further down the bank to get any number of these out, but hey, fish is a fish, and I'm happy with that. I'm going to put it back down there just to see, but that thing must have just been literally taking it and not moving. You'd have thought with a big heavy thing on like that it would have bolted off, but it didn't. So much for a bolt rig. There you go, look, that's my new method feeder, which I've been trying out today as well, with the elasticated stem. Right, well, nothing doing on the outside line, and I've got some modifications to make, but I've just been feeding to my left and to my right in next to the bank, just literally to see if I can catch something, because it's always nice to catch something when you go fishing. You probably can't see this unless I maybe go that way, but I'm gonna literally put that in there, and that's probably a couple of feet deep again, and we'll see. Can't be any worse, can it? Right, I've only been feeding there for well, probably 10 minutes, so not really expecting anything just yet, but this will get a bit more bait in. I'll try just down that side next if this doesn't work, and then we'll go back out and see what we can do. This one, the distance feeder, it works great, it casts well, but the problem is it tangles up every time, and I've tried all sorts of different booms on there, whether it be a twizzle boom or even this one, which I'll show at some other point. This is a power gum boom, does the same job as the twizzle boom. I've put the twizzle boom on itself, I've tried all sorts of things, and it still tangles up, and I think it's because I've got the line on like that. So I'm going to redesign this tonight, and I come back with the line attached just at the bottom end only, and we'll give that another go maybe in a couple of days time. It's all about trial and error, but it does cast a long way, so that's good. But in the meantime, this is my other thing for the day. This is the method feeder, which I was explaining a minute ago. This is also the first time I've used it, a recent invention as of 2 days ago, and that also seems to cast really well, so I'm really pleased with all that. Not getting any indications down there yet, so obviously I've probably not left it long enough, or it could just be that all that commotion's scattered them all the way along here, but I'll try that one down there in a minute anyway. I've just had my first little bump at that little side one there. I'm fishing probably about a foot out from the bank, and it's probably 2.5 feet deep there. As I say, it's a steep bank normally down here, so obviously with this extra water on, it's quite a good depth. That's a good pull. I think we're going to see that hitting that one. Yeah. Oh no, missed it. Oh well, at least I'm getting bites, which is more than I thought I'd do today. Still got bait on, so we'll just get straight back down there. I think might have spooked them, but hey, I don't care. I'm actually enjoying myself. It's windy, but it's not too bad for warmth. I know it's not 38, 40 degrees like you guys are having back in the UK at the moment, but that's it, down you go. But it's comfortable enough for me, and I'm out and about. Well, I've left it in for a few minutes and there's nothing down there now. I've obviously spooked them. They weren't properly getting their heads down and I've gone over them too early. Now, obviously if this was a match or something, I was being serious today, I'd have done it completely differently, but I just wanted to catch a couple of fish. So I'm going to have one go down there, and then if that doesn't work, I'm going to have one more go down there, because I've been putting a little bit of feed in, and literally I'm feeding just there. Crazy, I know, crazy, but hey, if I catch a couple of fish, I catch a couple of fish. Right. I do like the way I've designed this feeder. It's holding the bait in really well, and it's kind of designed a bit like a sort of a method feeder with a bit of a hybrid-y feeder in between with the corners, but I'll show you that another day properly, as I say. Again, it's the first time I've used it. Oops, oh, it's sticking out, never mind. It won't hurt for you. Just get that just down there. And who knows, we might get a bite. Of course we might not. Oh, it's a bit of a knock there. Liner, so there's definitely something down there. Just for a minute, I nearly struck then. I did actually do some distance casting with this feeder earlier on. I didn't show it to you because I wasn't sure I was going to be using it today. I just wanted to give it a quick chuck just to see if it flew well, and wow, it really does fly well. So it's stable, it lays flat in flight, slightly weight forward, so it really is looking like it's going to be my go-to method feeder. And it's the reason I've used the stem from the Guru is that I have some 45 gram Guru method feeders, but the body of them is pretty small in comparison to what I'm using here. And remember, if I go to this big match in a week or so's time, big open water, even in the winter you can chuck plenty of bait at them, and a little 45 gram feeder just won't cut it, I'm afraid. So is that a 45 gram feeder just wouldn't cut it with that size of body, so these things hopefully will do the job for me. Failing that, of course, I'll also be using the normal open-ended cage feeder, but it just gives me options. Just getting little plucks and dinks. That looks like a bite. Oh. Well. Come on, fish. The old elastic's going well, isn't it? Oops. A decent fish. Oh, where are you going, fish? Oh, well, he is a nice fish. Not the massivest fish I've ever seen, but just at least have a bit of slack. Nicely hooked. Just in the corner of the mouth. Try and put that down somewhere so it doesn't fall in. But yeah, look at that. Yeah, alright, wake up. 10, come on. And this one is slightly pregnant. See the belly? That's probably a good £6. Okay, well that's been in a minute or two and I haven't seen anything. I'm not surprised. I mean, what do you expect then? You've just been playing fish down there. So what we'll do is, we've got some more bait in there. Let's get some bait on and we'll go down to the right again and see if the fish have turned up there again. Okay. Literally just plop it in about there. That's actually quite a shallow bit, so I wonder if they've just come up shallower. Oops. You get your line tangled now, don't? See what happens there. Well, we've had a couple of fish anyway, haven't we? Oh. GoPro, start recording. Well, that went straight round, didn't it? Do you know, the more I do this fishing lark, the less I know. Not actually a big one, this one, but hey, at least we're catching fish. Whoa! Oops, missed it. There we go. Well, that's 3 in it. That's not bad. He's probably only about 2.5 pound, this one, but again, just hooked nice and neatly in the lower lip. Whoops. Whoa, spun the reel round. As I say, 3, can't be bad. Okay, well, to this one we'll go down this side again and see what we can do there. Yeah, about there I think. Well, had to happen sooner or later here, didn't it? This place is so rocky that I've actually managed to snag up on the bottom, and I've been all over the place trying to get it out. Let's see if it... lost the feeder. Damn. Oh well. I was going to show you, obviously, how well it casted, but as I don't have it anymore, that's going to be a bit difficult. So I've got a couple of others, but I've only got a couple of speed stems of the right length. So I'm not going to chance another one here, because if I go to those big matches, I'm going to need them there. So on that note, I think I'm going to pack in for the day and go back and redesign that distance feeder, as I was saying before, so that its loop is coming off at a different angle. But as I say, I've had a good day. I mean, I've had 3 fish. I wasn't expecting to get any. I've ironed out a few wrinkles and a few different things, and most of all, I've enjoyed myself. So I'll be back in a few days' time just to get this sorted out, and I suppose the next time you see me may well be on that big match if I go. In 2 minds yet. I'm going to look at the weather, but hey, as always, I hope you enjoyed this one. It wasn't a mega session, was it? But what do you expect for a flooded place? Anyway, that's it for now. As always, if you liked it, click the button. If you want to subscribe, you can. And until the next time, bye for now.